What is going on, everybody? You are absolutely screwed. Bitcoin is going to zero. Have a good day. This was a wonderful show. Guys, Bitcoin having a little bit of a struggle right now. Why do you think it's struggling? Well, it's not struggling because of money. It's struggling because of money. Why is it struggling because of money? Well, you know, because money. $400 million worth of shorts or longs, my bad, got liquidated over the last little while. 140 million of which were in Bitcoin alone, and the rest of the market capitulating drastically. I think most of my positions got liquidated. They were very small, so I'm not really concerned about it. And most of them are promo things that I do for these these exchanges, stuff like that. So I'm not really concerned about it. But I did have a weird scenario come up where, well, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes, and I'll show you exactly what it was. But the U.S. market had huge data from U.S. factories, which caused a spike in the U.S. dollar. When the U.S. dollar started spiking, Bitcoin started dipping, kind of all, symmetry, if you will, kind of what the French call fuckaductory. Hope you guys watched my video last night, speaking of fuckaductory, of Timothy Shed and everything that happened over there. In the testimony regarding Ben Armstrong, the fact that it is his Lambo, the fact that TJ moved a $500,000 home out of REBJ, which is jointly owned by him and Ben. And so all of that stuff did happen. And we also discovered, according to Timothy Shed, Cassie was never paid by Hit Networks. So TJ lied to you, deceived you, manipulated you. But I mean, you guys already knew that, right? I mean, we already knew who he was. It was a testament to his character. And luckily and fortunately, the character of his father greatly surpasses his own. So that puts us in a much better frame of mind. And look, it is my opinion. I don't have any facts to back this up. It is my opinion that Ben's going to get that company back, because when you do stuff like this, you're what they call whatever's in the Bible. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. These guys and their fellowship and all that kind of stuff. Let's get started, guys. It's not financial advice. You can hear the music in the background because it's cool. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, here we are. We got it. Now, good morning if you good morning. If you don't good morning anyway, and good morning to you. We got Jay Locke in the house. Robert T is in the house. Michael Martinez, Brian Bootyhead. We got Mike Volmer, Richard Caldwell. James Minton is a new subscriber to the channel. Thank you so much. These guys are real early. Evan Bullet, Janet is here. George Lopez Garcia is in the house. Crypto Kev is here. Tony P. We got Tom Collide in the house. Because please is always right. God damn it. Sing that song for me again, man. Jason Pollin's in the house. CODM and crypto. What is going on? Mike Lowry's in the house. Mike Lowry. If y'all don't know who Mike Lowry is, that's Mike Lowry. You know who it is. Martin Lawrence, pretended to be him one time. If you know, you know. Kathleen's in the house. What's going on? Mike Lowry says he needs a wrench in here. Why don't you shoot people through walls? You know what I'm talking about. We got Blockchain Bonehead in the house. Crypto Antagonist is bringing the bozos in the house. RW7610 is in the house. And yes, don't worry about it. Don't panic. We're going to be fine. Don't panic. Buy gold. John Doe is in the house. What is going on, Peter Sniff? Did I say sniff? I meant Schiff. Peter would never sniff a Peter. I wouldn't think that Peter Schiff was a Peter sniffer, but you know what I mean. I mean, he probably. I mean, maybe. You know, he might. It's not my choice. I don't know. It was his day on Easter, so you know, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. What is going on, JC? TJ sucks. So accuracy. That's very good. At least we know and we got the truth. Anybody else in here that I'm missing out on? Maddie B is in the house. Gazer is in the house. What is going on, everybody? We got Dude Tyler in the house, and we've got Jay Manuel kicking it live G style. We've got Alt Sniper. Charles Hawkins says hello from Scurry, Texas. Carlos is in the house. Rakeoff meme. Now I did take myself, by the way, Carlos, out of the Rakeoff OG channel because I'm not an OG with that. Like, I think it's hilarious that, you know, fuck Jed Rakeoff, that dirtbag, a octogenarian piece of trash. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Stone Cold Steve Austin doing that shit, like, Judd Rakoff, you octogenarian piece of trash, or whatever whatever he would say. We got Poe in the house. Good morning. Mighty in the house. Good morning. But again, if you good morning, good morning. If you don't, good morning anyway. So let's move on and let's get into it because there's a lot to cover. First of all, we are kicking it off, as always, with Bitcoin. The spot Bitcoin ETFs return to net daily outflows. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust outflows eclipse 15 billion. Now, doesn't that sound horrible? We got Trailboss in the house. What's going on, my man? Doesn't that sound horrible when you hear that? Because that makes you think, oh no, 15 billion in outflows, we're going to zero. But it's a load of horse shit. It's a lie. They're lying to you directly. Vader Prime's in the house. What's going on, my man? So this is how you get manipulated. This is how your argument, this is how your situations get framed so that you are seeing a reason to sell. You're being manipulated. And who are you being manipulated? The block.co is one of the companies that does that. And look, I like them. I like the content, but you know, the way that you create these articles, spot Bitcoin ETFs return to net daily outflows. Grayscale's total outflows eclipse 15 billion. And you say something like, Stick Beaters in the house. What's going on, my man? And you say something like, well, eclipses 15 billion. It sounds horrible without telling you anything about the inflows that are coming in. Because when you start to break it down and you look at what the inflows are, then you see that overall, it's still a net positive. Now, the point that they were trying to make yesterday, it was that there was a total net outflow for the first time in a week, and there was a matter of fact, it was the first outflow for ARK Capital ever. So their outflow was 300,000. Now remember, when we're talking about millions upon millions upon millions, then you know what I mean. They're manipulating you because the daily inflows, by the way, spread over the last 5 days, Monday through Friday, was 860 million. So inflows of 166 million yesterday from BlackRock were not enough to offset 302 million in outflows from Grayscale, converting. And most of that, by the way, still Genesis. It's still Genesis. So you're still being manipulated by what the French call that no good piece of shit Barry Silbert. You're still being manipulated by him. So, and then, by the way, the total was $85 million in outflow yesterday, which, guys, we're in a market that judges things on billions. The liquidity of the liquidity of Bitcoin is 85 million comes out of the liquidity, and that's basically about I want to say around $1 billion, right? Because the liquidity is pretty high. So I think that we're and Khan Azim is asking a good question here. Is 58,500 Bitcoin possible? I mean, anything's possible. Is it probable? I don't think that it is, but we're close enough right now that the question would be, when will buyers step in? And we'll look in just a few minutes to see, you know, what is the right level to which buyers would most likely step in and protect the price. And to be fair, the buyers are probably going to step in around 62,000. You know, that's probably the spot where, you know, we if we capitulate, then it's 62,000. Now, if it's 62,000, all it takes is one dump, one nice push down, and the next thing you know, we're at 56.5, 56.7, something like that. So it could happen, but the likelihood of it happening is pretty low. At $62,000 seems to be kind of our thou shalt not pass zone, if you will. So there seems to be quite a bit of support in that range. So until it gets tested, we really won't know. But when you look at if you were to look at this over a longer period of time and take out some of that dip right there, then you're going to find the strongest area of support and resistance is in that 62,000 range, towards the top. If we're just looking at the top of the charts, if you will, if you take out some of everything that's happened kind of at the bottom of the region of the range, 20,000, 25,000 that we were at way back when, the biggest node of support that we have is going to be 62,000 directly. So that's probably where the buyers are going to step in. So the likelihood of 58,000 isn't very high, but it is possible. 62,000 though, we were just at 62,000 not that long ago. So can we get there again? Yep. And also, to be fair, not a few days ago, we did test, I want to say 59.5, something like that. So, anything is possible. So maybe we get something. Anyway, so inflows of 165 billion was not enough for BlackRock. Fidelity's Bitcoin was second with 44 million worth of inflows, and Invesco was third with 4.2. However, ARC21 had its first outflow since trading began on January 11, losing 300,000. The remaining funds saw inflows between 0 and 2 million. Total net inflows currently stand at just over 12 billion. So, we're still in a better position than we were originally. So a lot of this is just you being faked out. And by the way, there was some information about, earlier this month, a Coinbase report suggested that Genesis Global Holdco potentially sold off 35.9 million shares valued at around 2 billion, which is what is causing the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust selling pressure. So James Seifert, Eric Balkunas, they all these investigator guys that we communicate with daily, those are the ones that are seeing this, and they're finding out all of this stuff and they're reporting it to people. It just turns out that Barry Silbert is just a worthless investor. Like if there was if there's what not to do in investing, Barry Silbert would be the poster boy of quit being a piece of shit and grow up like a real boy. And why do you look like, matter of fact, why does he look like Pinocchio? What is it? What is it about? You guys know what I'm talking about. You've seen him. You know what I'm talking about. You know. Anyway, let's move on here. But he does kind of look like, what I mean? Crypto traders see over $400 million in liquidations as Bitcoin slides below 67,000. That's a big number. And Jesus Christ, now it's going to take me a second because now my computer is going crazy. So guys, give me just 1 second here to try to figure out why. I have a new version here of, what do you call it? Oh yeah, this stupid thing. That's what I call it. Anyway, I got a new version of this stupid thing. So I don't know why, but everything seems to be kind of rolling pretty slow. So when it didn't happen, there we go. All right, so liquidations occur when a trader's position is forcibly closed due to a lack of funds to cover losses. The wipeout of long positions comes as Bitcoin fell below 67,000. I don't even know what the liquidation number is right now, but I can tell you that it is super, super aggressive at this point. This article came out, I want to say probably $400 million ago. So we're probably sitting at near $1 billion in liquidation over this period of time, not to mention the reversal that's going to be imminent. Solana, which by the way, Fairdesk, fuck you. Fairdesk did me as dirty as you possibly can. And by the way, it's free money. Like they just give me futures money in order to do trading with and stuff like that. But so I went to sleep with a liquidation point of $173 on a Solana long, and I woke up and it was liquidated at $177. That's some crazy shit right there. Again, it's free money. It's not like I really care. I just don't like seeing that. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, unfair desk. Yeah. But again, I mean, it's free money. Like, guys, I'm just doing that. Like, I don't keep that money. Like if you ever were to look at my Fairdesk wallet like I always make thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars doing these trades, and then I just put them into wild positions and lose them because I'm not trying to take money from these guys. I'm just trying to, just trying to trade, you know what I mean, and have fun doing it. No, the intro's not playing. It's and by the way, when I say that my computer is slowing down, let me. I have an i9. I have an i9 94 something. It's a 13th generation quad core. Whatever the best CPU was 6 months ago when I bought this thing. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. I have 2 video cards. One is the AMD Adrenalin or whatever it is that comes with one of these laptops, which is good enough, by the way, to run almost every game you could possibly play. And then I have an RTX 4080 that's also in here. And I have 2 screens, on both sides over here, 2 32-inch screens, one here, one here. None of this is using much resource. When I went in right now and looked at my task manager, it was all Google Chrome. And I do have, probably 20 tabs open on Google Chrome. But let's be honest here. Should Google Chrome slow your computer down to the point that it's not running right? And by the way, when I looked at CPU usage, 75% Google Chrome. Fuck Google Chrome. You know what I mean? Like this, man. So yeah, dude, I decided to put the music in the background so that people can just kind of hear it and, hum along with it if you want. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, the crypto wallet. Anyway, so we're looking at probably $1 billion in liquidation points wiped out over the last 24 hours. So you could be screwed. Now, the reason for the dump in the market is allegedly that U.S. factory data has powered the dollar index. The U.S. factory activity unexpectedly expanded in March. Data released on Monday, sending the dollar index much higher. So then Bitcoin, of course, started to dump because of that. June Fed rate cut dipped below 50% after the manufacturing data because obviously there's something going on right there. Leading cryptocurrency by market value fell 4% to 66,000 in a bearish resolution. The dollar index, which tracks the greenback's value against major fiat, topped the 105 mark for the first time in over 4 months, taking a 4-week gain to 2.58. A stronger dollar makes dollar-denominated assets like Bitcoin and gold expensive, potentially leading to lower demand. Besides, sustained dollar strength is known to cause financial tightening worldwide, denting investor willingness to take risk. So, and by the way, we did see that. That's exactly what we saw. We saw these investors are overseas. When the dollar got real hot, then we saw them retreat because now they're looking at their own assets. So the Institute for Supply Management Manufacturing Purchase Managers Index on Monday showed that factory activity unexpectedly expanded in March. Does that make you feel bad? Do you hate that when you see Joe Biden doing something good? When you see something happen, does that really infuriate you? I just wonder. PMI rose 2.5 points for 50.3 last month following the 47.8 reading. The headline figure crossed into expansion territory above 50, halting 16 straight months of contraction and weakening the case for Fed rate cuts. So, there is some there is some stuff going on here. So, the index jumped to 55.8 before. So now we're looking at an expansion in factory market. So, let's good shot to Joe Biden, by the way, even if he's not getting reelected, by the way. It's not happening. However, I mean, at least you had a good run, Joe. You had a good run. You know what I mean? But now it's time for pasture. You know what? We're going to move over here. And I kind of like this kind of perch here. So we're going to drop that into the perch right there. And there we go. Now let's move on. Bitcoin sees another major Coinbase outflow, 1.2 billion this time. Now, a couple of days ago, about 17,000 Bitcoin were taken off of the exchange, Coinbase, right here, 16.8 were taken off right here. And then we had another 17,000 that were taken off yesterday. So this is the flow of available Bitcoin on Coinbase. So the chart, this shows a spike of a very similar scale just a few days ago. 16,800 had flowed out of Coinbase in a withdrawal event. This would mean two major buying moves may have occurred on the exchange in the past week. Coinbase is known to be the preferred platform for US-based institutional since the Bitcoin spot exchange traded fund moved. And then, by the way, here is, now I want you to see this. This is where that happened right here. This is where that happened right here. Okay, so you got these two, right? Well, then what happened? We had major sell-off and major sell-off. And by the way, here's the funny part, right? When I saw that, I was like, oh shit, well, maybe I should close my position. You know what? I'm just gonna let them ride overnight. What's the chance of getting liquidated at $173 on Solana? Well, apparently they changed it on Unfair Desk to 177 and then just liquidated me. So yeah, that's a little bit wild. Anyway, so you see that right here. So I think that that's going to be a signal that we're looking for. We're going to be looking for these big moves on, we see a big exchange outflow from Coinbase in the amount of 16 or 17,000. That means that they're probably looking to dump it on a different market or something like that. I mean, but I wouldn't be surprised to see if the sell-off was happening mostly on Binance or KuCoin or something like that, causing that sort of pressure, and they're just taking it off of Coinbase because they're trying to manipulate the market, because the less the less Bitcoin on Coinbase, the higher price go because of institutional need. I would not be surprised to see that there's some sort of tiny manipulation of that type. So next thing up, let's talk about some positives, right? Because Bitcoin is on the edge of just breaking through 70,000 once and for all, right? And once we do that, then it's going to be off to the moon. And the title of this was Bitcoin to 80,000 this week. Now, because of this dip, does that seem like something that's going to happen? Well, no, on the surface it doesn't, because you've got this kind of pressure here holding Bitcoin down. But what if that was just $1 billion liquidity flush, and now all of a sudden the bears just got fed, if you will, and now that they've been fed, now they're looking to make this thing run super hard. Well, if that's the case, then you might see an enormous spike in some price action really start to happen. Now remember, it was 170 billion that we were down a little while ago, and if you come now and you check, then it's down to 137 billion. Still an enormous outflow, still not a great sign. But I mean, let's look at it on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, you've seen all of this sell down happening all night long. And then you saw that spike right there, which meant that should have been the end. And then we got this continuing push down, right? This was an opportunistic sell-off that continued overnight to try to keep pushing it down. And then, of course, you got this spike right here. Now, what does this little wick down here generally mean? Along with a big green candle right next to it, that tends to mean a reversal to the upside. Where is the next stop? Well, it's probably going to stop right there. So what you're probably looking at is a move up into this range right here, and then a little consolidation before another big move. And then, we start coming, whoops, shit. Of course, it was too far. We come up into this range here, then we come through this range here, and then we come back up into this little spot right here. Like, that's most probably where it is. Like, we just come back into this range here of this line. Now, by the way, that line was pretty aggressive, to be fair. Like, when we zoom out here, it's not even a long-term trend line, by the way. This is just something for the last bunch of days. You know what I mean? So it's not a huge time frame. It's just, there we go. So, and by the way, these things always break down because they're not really, like, it's not really there. It's just a trend. So trends eventually break. Now, you are seeing some aggressive buyback. So it's 65,700 off of a low of 64,008. So we're starting to get that kind of move, right? So anyway, 70,000 is probably, it's one of those aggressive things where, we got that flush. By the way, here's the liquidation heat map. Let's look at this real quick. If you see this, like, it's been coming down and it's been just wrecking each one of those positions. Well, now the money is sitting at 66.1 and 66.9. So I would expect an aggressive move probably into this range over the short period of time. Remember, the reason for this sell-off is no reason. That's the important part. The reason for the sell-off is no reason. So, and a lot of people, by the way, are saying that the sell-off is going to happen because it's getting close to the halving, et cetera, et cetera. Throw that shit out the window. There are still going to be similarities, and we're still going to see, similar sort of occurrences and situations. But with all of the ETFs continuing to buy up Bitcoin, even if they're not buying a bunch of Bitcoin, remember, Hong Kong is about to open their ETF, and they're going to continue to buy, and their volume is is um, is nearly as big as the U.S. volume. Imagine if China gets in on the ETF. And China, by the way, is not backing down from Hong Kong doing this ETF. So just consider, if you will, these Hong Kong and these Chinese and Asian investors who were not able to buy crypto because, it's illegal in China, are now going to be able to buy Bitcoin. They're going to have access and exposure to Bitcoin that they've wanted to have all this time. What do you think happens, right? And then we have ETFs that are launched in the European Union. All of these people are going to start buying Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to come off of exchanges. There's still going to be this run on Bitcoin. Nothing has fundamentally changed. The only thing that's happening right now is, as we just showed you, and guys, I can't stress more, everything that just happened here, everything that I just laid out for you was manipulation. That was a manipulation event where they sold everything down. There's no catastrophe across the world. You know what there is? Good job data, good manufacturing data, and that causes the rest of the world to sell off because the dollar is getting stronger and it costs more to buy Bitcoin because it's pegged to the US dollar. That's all. That's exactly what happened. So until Bitcoin gets pegged to whatever that new goddamn currency is on the BRICS, I think it is, whenever that brick dollar be representing or whatever they say, then maybe we'll see something different. But for right now, it's pegged to the US dollar. So it becomes more difficult to buy. So then people sell off because now it's time to take profit. You know what I mean? The market is just telling you what to do, is basically. And as long as you're listening, then you know what to do. So that's what's happening. That's what they're doing. And here we are. So now we'll see what happens there. And then we got another one, and then we'll kind of start moving fast here. There's 7 events that are set to drastically impact cryptocurrency in the month of April. Okay. First of all is the crypto halving. April 10 is the scheduled to announce the March Consumer Price Index. So there's going to be the halving. Also today is the Bitcoin Cash halving. I remember that was a break off of Bitcoin. So and it's every 4 years, just like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin Cash halving is happening today. April 10, you're going to see the CPI come out. The Federal Reserve is closely monitoring that. April 19 is the deadline for the SEC and the U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase to reach an agreement in their ongoing battle. The halving should be somewhere in this realm. Now it's April 16, by the way. Now, one of the most highly anticipated events in the crypto world, the Bitcoin block reward halving, is scheduled for April 25. That's not really true at this point. I think that people are kind of looking at it like, trying to figure out when that's going to be. And there's a bunch of, let me hit a tracker here and let's see. Watcher Guru. Oh, geez, I hate Watcher Guru, guys. They're such a scumbag fucking organization. All right, so what they have is on 420 at 522, and there's 2,595 blocks remaining. So we'll see how long it takes. You know what I mean? For 2,500 blocks, I mean, it really depends on how long does it take to mine a block. You know what I mean? So we'll see how long it takes to mine those blocks, and we'll, when we get to 840,000 blocks, then we'll be there. So if you look at it from March 2nd to March 9, we mined about 1,000 blocks. So maybe April 20 is right, because it seems like it's about 2 weeks away. That's been the thing, that it was about 2 weeks away. And Coinbase, by the way, says April 16. So I'm not sure exactly which one of these is right. So, and by the way, if I didn't before, shout out to James Minton for joining the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. But anyway, so not only that, we got the halving, and then the Runes protocol is going to launch around the 25th. It's a Bitcoin native digital commodity protocol that introduces a novel fungible token based on the Bitcoin network. So we're going to have Bitcoin Runes coming. The sentencing of CZ Binance is going to happen on April 30th. And then the Eigenlayer mainnet launch is going to be the end of April. It's when the blockchain protocol is fully developed and deployed, allowing cryptocurrency transactions to be broadcasted, verified, and recorded on a distributed ledger technology. April will be an eventful month for the crypto industry. So here we are. We're at the point where everything is about to go out of its mind, parabolic, and we're just waiting for that breakout moment. So cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your eyebrows or eyelashes, whatever. I mean, cross something, you know what I mean? Ethereum price now teeters on the edge of a breakout. Now, of course, we did lose some of our position on Ethereum. Let's go back over here. Bitcoin is now at 66,000, by the way. Ethereum at 3306. Now, the interesting thing is there was no real, Bitcoin, the one thing that had been happening, and by the way, this is actually not a horrible sign. I do want to say this before I make this commentary. The Ethereum breakdown really looks like it really kind of coupled with Bitcoin. Now, in the old days, it should be noted that if there was a 5% drawdown in Bitcoin, there was usually a 10% drawdown in Ethereum. Today, it's 5 and 5. So we're not having these enormous drawdowns that we would normally have had before. So I think that this is actually a pretty decent sign. Now, that being the case, of course, the same thing applies over here. You'll probably see some sideways movement when we get to around 33.40, and then we'll have a more sideways movement at 33.70, and then we'll have a big breakout to 34.40, somewhere in that range right there. And you can see the volume profile over here kind of tells you exactly where you're going to encounter the resistance. So we're going to get that first level of resistance around 32.60. If we get there, there's going to be a little bit, of course, at 33.36. Then the big zone right now, the point of control is 3,500. So we're going to see something at that at that 3,500 level, and we got 702 Goddess now in the house. What is going on? Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Everybody else, you should be a member of the channel. How dare you not be? You know what I mean? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So that move right there, back into 3,500, and I think that's going to be the zone of control. We zoom out just a little bit and allow this thing an opportunity to see, and you see that volume profile. And that volume profile really says that 3,500 is the number. So I would expect a move back into that point of control range right here at 3,500 coming a lot sooner than later. I don't think that we're going to experience much more breakdown. Remember, when we break down on price at this point, the reason that we're breaking down is not because there's a fundamental problem with Bitcoin or a fundamental problem with cryptocurrency. The reason that we break down right now is because manipulators in the market are leveraging their positions to sell off, to accumulate more, to do all of these little pieces, to manipulate the market to the best of their ability and design. Bitcoin now at 66,200. So we're seeing the reversal immediately and very specifically happening. So that's what's going on. So let's talk about Ethereum just a little bit because there was some other stuff like the number, by the way, still 4,300. I'm still telling you guys that I think we're going to be in that 4,000 range very, very soon because, we still are about 2 months, a month and a half away from where that Bitcoin, the Ethereum ETF. Now, by the way, it should be noted that James and Eric are both saying that there's only, about a 25% chance of the Ethereum approval. And then Larry Fink came out the other day and said, "Oh, disagree. It's going to be approved." All of the processes, all of the things that needed to be in place that they're not talking about. And here's the reason. Eric Balchunas and James Seifert are both saying that, there's not the same discussion with the SEC as there was with the Bitcoin ETFs. And that would lead me to believe that they're just going to say, no, thank you. And they're going to, oh, Justin W., what is going on, man? What happened was everybody in the channel except you have signed up and become members of the channel. So I can't believe that you're the only person, man. You're the only person not a member. You should become a member. Anyway, they think that was the reason. Well, then Larry Fink came out to address that as a concern because it was a legitimate concern. And what he said was, we're not concerned about that at all because all of the work, all of the putting everything into place so that we could do whatever it is that we do, all of that's already been done. There's no reason to have discussions back and forth. All of the in-kind transactions have been solved with Bitcoin. all of the pieces that needed to be put in place that had not been put in place before. Those are in place now. They weren't when Bitcoin, so we already did the work. And then once we did the work on Bitcoin, then we did that. We applied the same tactic to Ethereum. So we've answered all the questions that the SEC had already in our filings. So there's no reason for them to engage with us. And in fact, they haven't not engaged with us. We've actually been asked questions. So it looks like Larry Fink is not concerned at all about getting the approval. And I mean, guys, that's the person that you want to be able to tell you, hey, man, we're going to be fine. You know what I mean? So, whew. Who do I want the Bears to draft? Marvin Harrison Jr. And then I would be looking at like JJ McCarthy. I'm not sure about that quarterback position. I mean, there's got to be. You got to get a quarterback at this point because Justin Fields is gone. But I would really like to see Marvin Harrison Jr. be that guy. However, I would not be mad. I would not be mad if it was Caleb Williams. Look, Caleb Williams, fantastic quarterback, by the way. But I would not be mad if it were Caleb Williams and maybe Malik Neighbors or something like that. But if you take Caleb Williams, I don't think you need a wide receiver. I would actually, you know what? At 10:30, I go live. I'm going to explain what my draft is and what my logic behind all of that is. But yeah, Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 guy. It's the number 9 pick that matters anyway at this point. So anyway, I digress. So now we're looking at that volatile move. I think that I think Ethereum is headed to 4,000 a lot sooner than we think. I think it's about to get into a nice little pump here. Let's see what happens. Now, with that, we're going to get into altcoins just a little bit here. And so China, this is a very wild thing here. China has embraced the blockchain, and guess what they did? And they have, I misspelled that. Wow, that is unbelievable. They've embraced and they've agreed to allow partnerships with the Conflux network. So this is absolutely wild. While taking the core reason for this, Chinese government's effort to develop a public blockchain is happening on the scene of its negative sentiments on cryptocurrency. Since 2017, the Chinese government has implemented a series of regulations to limit the role of cryptocurrencies within their jurisdiction, including the ban of all crypto operations, closures of exchanges, and discontinuation of crypto mining activities. However, these controls were not effective to prevent a considerable part of Chinese investors from carrying on business. So China embarked on a new venture, and they are supporting the Conflux network. So they help with the creation of the ultra large blockchain infrastructure platform under Conflux, and that proves the complexity of work on blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Whilst money authorities are beginning to implement more harsh rules on digital currencies, the national Chinese government has acknowledged the broad blockchain promises. So guys, I keep telling you that Conflux is just going to absolutely go nuts one day. It's going to be because it's the favored cryptocurrency, or the favored thing on because of the Chinese government is going to be deep into this. And if they're into this, Bitcoin price going to fall badly because of outflows. Any user, only $85 million outflowed yesterday. That's less than $1 billion. This is a manipulation event. This is not going to fall badly because there were only 85 million in outflows, and it was the first day in over a week that there was any outflow. So the inflows for IBIT were, I think, 86 million. The inflows for Fidelity was over 40 million, making up for it. And this is just Barry Silbert selling off. This is a manipulation event. So no, it's not gonna keep falling. Oh, I mean, it could. Let me rephrase that. It could keep falling. Anything is possible in this market, but it's not realistic to think that that's just going to continue going on. And yes, if you are not already, consider getting the fuck off of MEXC for your lunk trading, if anything else. As of June 30th, you will have to be fully KYC. And then that's probably, yeah, I mean, like I was notified that I have until June 30th to either get my stuff off of the exchange or fully KYC. So, and by the way, I think I'm already KYC because I did that, because I'm already partnered with them. So I'm already KYC, but I did get the notice with everybody else. So we'll see, how that happens. But Anyway, if you haven't already, look, guys, consider Conflux. And then Solana. So Solana is picking up big time over the last little while, and they are picking up big time because guess what? It looks like the institutional people are now getting into the game, if you will. So if that's the case, then we're probably looking at just look. I got a feeling that Solana is about to absolutely rip. Okay. And there's big inflows happening on Solana right now. There's big, now I do want to say in the last 24 hours, it is not looking very good. If you look up and down the line of meme coins, I mean, everything. The only one that's just kind of a little bit down and not hugely down is Dog with Hat, down 6% right now. And there might be some outlier for a small amount here or there. But GME is down 10%. Nico's down 13%. Myro is down 20%. I want to say, these meme coins over there are just getting brutalized at this point. But it's value locked. It's stuff like that. When you look at the 24-hour volume, it's a steady third right now. The Ethereum 1.9, almost 2 billion, and then BSC 1.5 billion, and then Solana is at 1.2 billion. Still significant number. It's not a significant number, but I mean, we'll see what happens. And Roy with the $5 bomb says, Benji, on base chain, do you think it's got legs? All of the base memes right now are having these really good runs. So I would venture to say that it probably will. I mean, let's face it, right now we're at what? Well, that's not the one. That's Benji. Benji. On base, it was, I think it's this one. Yeah, Benji is up 87% in the last 24 hours. I mean, look at that. Benji had a nice little run, so I would think that Benji, and look, by the way, 40 million market cap. Like when I see something like 40 million market cap, I'm like, you know what? It's got to be cooked almost at this point, right? How many billions of dollars of meme coins are there really going to be? I mean, you really have to look at it that way. I'm going to pull this up. You guys can see by market cap right now. We're going to look at memes, and here's the meme coin market cap. And you got Dogecoin at 27 billion, Shiba at 15 billion, Dog with Hat at 4 billion, Pepe at 3 billion, Floki at 2 billion, Bonk at 1.5 billion, Book of Memes at 900 million. And then as you start going down this line, you got Brett over here at 527 million, Cat in a Dog's World at 562 million, Myro 256, Baby Doge 295. There's a lot of money sitting here in meme coins. You got Slurf at 242. So I mean, there's a lot of then you got Geo Bowden at 197 million market cap. I mean, there's a lot of meme coins out here with some big ass market caps right now. And I would just venture to say that this is a saturated market. I think there's got to be a drawdown on meme coins at some point, but I mean, until this thing stops, here's what I would do. If it were me, make sure that you got your initial investment out. I mean, should have had that out already. If you got in early, get your initial investment out as quickly as you possibly can, and just look right on house money. That's it. The end. Problem solved. If you got in here early and you got yourself a 2 or 3 or 4x and you got your original investment out, you already win. You already won the game. All you have to do is just let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. You know what I mean? Like, that's all you got to do. So, and by the way, volatility is way up on this thing right now. So, when the market reverses, by the way, consider that it probably has a big move coming, because if you were to just consider that it had this move right here, which is kind of that blow off top looking thing, it really didn't blow off too bad. It came down. I mean, it did come down a lot. Let me rephrase that. It came down a lot, but if you look at it from, it came down into the golden pocket and then it retreated back up to 2.36, the 0.236 line. It did exactly what you want it to do for a breakout. So, you might be looking at a breakout on Basenji. So, yeah. Bitcoin's probably headed back to 68,000. Where are we at right now? So, Right now, Bitcoin is at 66,200. We got a big green candle forming right now on the 1 hour. We 9:45 right now. So it looks like the reversal is in full effect. The next level of liquidity. Let's refresh this. We're on the 24 hours still until we get, until we get a change. That's where we're going to be. Now, it does look like 66.5 and 66.9 are the next moves because it just came in and it swept through this little level right here. At 66.2 and 66.3. Now, that's not the big levels. The biggest level right now is at 66.5, followed by 66.9. So I would say that we're probably going to 67 at least again one more time. Then we'll see if there's a test coming down a little bit more. Moving to the 3 hour, we've really kind of pulled what's available. Maybe you can come back down here and fight 64.5 right there. But, it looks like we fulfilled what we wanted to, which was 64.8-ish. And then boom, now we're kind of breaking back out, and 72,000 is still where the big money is. That's where the liquidity is sitting. So, we could have a drawdown. There could still be, some there's still sellers in the market. So, sellers could take over for a short period of time. But I mean, we are headed back up. It looks like we got to get through this range right here at 66,700 and look to see that rejection. And again, if you looked at it on the 24 hour, what did we just say? It's 66.7. That's the range right now, and that's where we are right in here. This is that liquidity area right there. So that's probably what's going to happen. Anyway, so institutional appeal skyrockets now. We already did that one yesterday. Sorry about that. And Neko, make sure if you haven't already that you consider buying some Neko, because trading at 42.50. If you guys remember, I gave you this a couple days ago, and what happened? You got that gigantic spike right there. If you didn't take profit on that, that's your fault. That's certainly your fault if you didn't take profit on this one. But it spiked up. It almost dropped at zero for a short period of time on just a massive sort of move right there. And it was, again, like if you look at this and you look at this, I mean, this is what it's doing. So now the question is, can this right here, which actually seems a little bit more in tune with what the chart looks like right there. So if it continues to bounce off of this, and I would expect it's going to drop a zero pretty soon. You know what I mean? Like it looks like this is something that's getting ready to happen. So if we see that happen, then cool. But if you haven't already, certainly check that out. Just got listed on CoinMarketCap, so you should see the price and the value showing up in your wallet as we speak. So that was not showing up yesterday, but it is today. So make sure you check that out. Also, Bencoin is now available at all the BTM machines. So if you haven't checked that out and you've been waiting for, and by the way, a lot of people who don't like Ben, a lot of people who've been crying about Ben and shit like that, don't understand mass adoption. They're just like, why not go just do the meme or go just do meme, or whatever the fuck you say. But why Bitcoin BTM machines? Over 20% of the United States population is underbanked entirely. From now on BTM machines, you can buy Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, and now Bencoin. Those are the four cryptos that you can buy. When I keep saying, and I put these memes out that says like Bencoin is going to foster mass adoption, and people who hate Ben are like, no, it's not going to do that. It's not going to do that, or whatever the fuck you say, or however you fuck you say it in your brain. But that's what you are doing. And then guess what? Bencoin is one of 4 coins on the BTM machines. Now, does that lead to mass adoption? Not exactly. That's not leading to mass adoption. That's giving you the opportunity. The rest of it comes with building out an ecosystem that people want to thrive in, and that's still coming. That's something that's coming. So you'll see that one start to manifest itself over a shorter period of time. But if you haven't already, you should definitely consider Bencoin, because look, whether you like it or not, Ben's going to get his company back. Whether you like it or not, he'll get his channel back. Whether or not you like it or not, Ben is going to win, because Ben always wins. I mean, if you don't realize that and you haven't seen that and noticed that yet, then you're not paying attention. Now, did Ben choose the wrong people to be part of his inner circle, if you will? Yeah. I mean, Lady Frame, he's a little bitch. You know what I mean? By the way, Lady Frame, 15,000 each, and let's call George, and we could do that at KC if you have a problem. Anyway, so they basically, and if you haven't already, go check out my video. They tried to steal the company from them. I mean, basically that's it. They're thieves. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But yeah, I'll put it out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do it for free, and I don't do it cheap. But I mean, goddamn. We got Gary Gensler in the house. Yeah, meme coin Gary Gensler. Jesus Christ. I can't believe Gary Gensler is a meme coin. And I can't believe that he came out on the Trans Day of Visibility and said, you know what? I used to be a chick. That's crazy to think, Gary. You're brave. You're brave. You know what I mean? So if you haven't already, check out BenCoin. And then finally, Terra Luna Classic. So a lot of stuff going on right now. So the reason that SEC is suing Do Kwon is because they used jump trading to peg in May of 2021 UST to keep it from destabilizing. And then they didn't tell everybody. And that's I guess for the SEC, that's a pretty big issue. And to be fair, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is a big issue. At least in my brain, I'd be like, shit. You know what I mean? So maybe, just maybe, there's something to this lawsuit. And I hadn't considered at this point that it was going to be an easy win for the SEC, because the SEC doesn't win anything anyway. Under Gary Gensler, it's a goddamn clown show. No offense, Gary. It's a goddamn clown show. No offense again, Gary. But this goddamn clown show called the SEC is just kind of embarrassing to the U.S. government, if you will. So we'll see what happens there. So, and by the way, Do Kwon is not there for it. He's still in Montenegro. He's being extradited to South Korea. But Terraform Labs still has to go through the process. And what is the notification that you have to give that jump trading was part of it? And Brian Hunsaker, I believe his name is, or Bill Hunsaker, was the guy who said that. So a good no KYC platform is Weeks, guys. If you haven't already, consider going to Weeks. Weeks is the one. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up the Lunk frame. I thought I had it somewhere. Maybe I don't. Dang. Oh, yeah, here we go. Hold on one second. And it's, by the way, it's in the description down below. And boom, there you go. Weeks. If you're looking for something, Weeks right here, WEEX. And then you can go check out this place over here too. But those are my places for Luna Classic. So if you want to check those out, certainly go check them out. And that's going to be. I'm no clown, but I do enjoy the circus. That seems true. That seems true. So anyway, if again, Weeks, by the way, if you trade on Weeks, then you get with Luna Classic. If you trade on Weeks, then you get a burn. There's a small burn that's done on every transaction, and it's the fees, just like on Binance. So you're not charged. It's not you that we're not burning your tokens. It's their fees that they're burning. So they're going to be. And by the way, Binance just burned 4 billion tokens for Terra Luna Classic. So if you are a Terra Luna Classic fan, then what a big day it was. That was one of the bigger burns that Binance has had. Absolutely fascinating to see that. To see that kind of playing out. So, awesome. By the way, Myro is pumping for some reason. It was down quite a bit, and it's got a big green candle. Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be. Look at this. So we got Dog with Hat having a nice little powering up reversal. And we got the same thing with Myro right now. And we got the same thing with Solana. So the Solana meme coin ecosystem probably going to pump super hard right now. So if you're looking, by the way, I would come over here and kind of look at, what's down good, like GME. GME is down pretty big, 700,000 in volume still. I would think that it's probably going to pump at least into this range here. So a nice 10-20% gain, maybe. But I would certainly be looking at this because it looks like we're starting to get a nice little correction back here. Went up to 182.29 right away on Solana. Like, Jesus Christ. Myro pumping, Dog with Hat pumping, back, by the way, down on the day, but pumping as of right now. So certainly be looking at that. Also, We're going to do some of this. We'll look around here when we get a moment here. And we'll kind of see how accurate some of these places are. Like Solana meme coins getting destroyed as market sees outflows from you today. We got cryptocurrency community prank unfolds. Anatoly Yakovenko, CEO of Solana, tends to send people in the crypto industry into a frenzy of hysterical laughter because last April 1st, he opened the virtual vault and introduced the made-up bunker coin. His tweets may not have made much sense to me as they were tech vocabulary stacked. However, there was something going on over there. So anyway, we'll check some of that out later. If you haven't already, at least go consider popping into if you like gaming, you like burning Luna Classic. That's the important thing right now. If you like doing that, then this is the place for you. TerraCasino.io, a great place for you to burn some Luna Classic on every transaction that you make. All you have to do is connect your wallet and you can get started right away. And then there we go. And we're gonna have to skip some of this stuff. Chart analysis, guys. Look, Bitcoin go up at this point. We're gonna have some drawdown. We're gonna have some fight. We're gonna have some U.S. market. You want to be doing stupid stuff, or whatever it is that they do. DXY looks like it just reversed and starting to come back down. If you, on the hour chart, look at that. The dollar is coming back down. If the dollar's coming back down, we saw that spike up to 105, but look at this. Like it's really just looks like just a liquidity sweep. So if that's the case, then we're probably going to be looking at Bitcoin starting to rip here. Dow Jones down. Look at that gap right there on the Dow Jones. 425 points to start the day. Still continuing its downward journey. Got a little peg of a reversal. So it's going to break 40,000. Are we going to break 40,000? Isn't that a record? 40,000. Shout out to Joe Biden. Another record falls under Joe Biden administration. It's absolutely crazy. Does it drive you crazy when I say shit like that, by the way? Does it make you go, what are you talking about? Because it's not real, right? Joe Biden doesn't affect any of this shit. Neither does Donald Trump. It's fucking wild. Anyway, so we'll see how all this goes over the next couple of hours. Anyway, time for gold is up to 2250. Trail Boss, hold on one second here. We got Wiener Man said he's going to put Ben in jail. Why does he want to sleep with Ben? Ooh, he wants to do freaky stuff to Ben, so he thought the only way is to corral him, and that's pretty awesome. Ghost 79, there you go. All right, so Doges. By the way, if you haven't checked out Doges is Doge on Solana, and it was coming out. Here we go. It's up 11,000% on the day. Now, here's the good part about Doge on Solana. First of all, it's down. It came out just a little while ago. 1.25 million market cap, 73,000 in liquidity. So this has got it's 1 billion tokens in circulation. So if it hits a billion market cap, every token is worth $1. Right now, it's at 0.001250. I got a sense and a feeling that you might see something just kind of wild happen on this. Came out, launched, boom, goes crazy. I think it was at a 3 or 4 million market cap right here. The retracement, if you look at it as a move here, came down below that golden pocket range. Now, this was happening, by the way, last night, where the entire market was just dunking on everything, and then it came back up with a strong rebound, and now it's back down here in that golden pocket range. Well, if it's in the golden pocket range, then it would stand to reason that if there's a little excitement and enthusiasm behind it, then boom, this thing does do a 10, 15, 20 million market cap. You know what I mean? So I would be looking at something like this and by the way, you're in early. This was launched 326. So, and it trended around. By the way, if you go look at this and you kind of zoom out just a little bit, then you can see like it did a lot of nothing. Whoops. Now I'm just drawing on the goddamn screen instead of moving it around. But you can see right here, like it was just, it just wasn't doing anything. A little bit of movement here, a little bit of movement here. You know what I mean? Like we're getting a little tiny pump, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's that $1 million pump. So, and now that's where that reversal comes in. If there's that much enthusiasm in it, God, I gotta think that there's gonna be a big move. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, that is my real life brother. So, shout out to my brother in the house. Happy Easter, man. So there we have it. All right, guys, it is time for me. I've got some what the French call Chicago Bears shit to do. I got a show in 30 minutes, so thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, guys. If you, by the way, Trail Boss, thank you for the $5 bomb. I would get in on Doge on Solana, guys. I'm not saying that it's going to run, but I'm saying it's worth like one Solana to just kind of throw at it and see what happens. Like it's at 1265. It's up a significant percent today. Will it continue? That's the question. It doesn't matter if it's up 11,000% today. It matters that it's at a 1.26 million market cap. If some people come in here and pop in and start doing just a little bit of trading here and take this thing to, 30, $40 million market cap, I mean, it's a 30 or 40x, your one Solana is 30 or 40 Solana, just like that, It doesn't mean it's going to happen, by the way. Remember, and by the way, let me just tell you on the final one, is this one right here. MAGA. Guys, MAGA is going to do, and look at all the trade volume, by the way. Just gigantic trade volume here. It's happening all the time, right? But it's at 433 right now. I keep telling you when it comes down into this range, buy. Well, it looks like this range right here is the buy zone too. So, this thing is going to run back up and it's going to hit that all-time high. It's a 200 million market cap. It's going to go to a billion market cap. I'm telling you guys right now, as we get closer to this election, it is going to continue running. So, but it's your investment. You do what you got to do, boo. So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And it's time to pay the bills, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Cryptonomy.finance just launched a research section, so make sure that you go check that out today. Learn a little bit more about crypto that you may not have known before. If you are a corporate client, you can have a relationship manager and a lot of customer support, superior OTC services, and institutional tools that will help you in your venture. Also, if you sign up for the VIP course, you can get in touch with high-touch wealth management personnel and a lot of different people and personalized information as you need in order to successfully navigate this crypto system. Also, if you look at my moves right now, you can see that I'm earning over 106 Solana on my last staking. My Tether, I'm going to earn 1,670 on my staking so far. You can see there's some of these I've earned $784. I can't cash out for a while, but I've earned $784 so far. And then in the launch pool, guys, if you haven't checked the launch pool out, you've got to check the launch pool. Look at these ROIs that I'm getting right now. It's fantastic. 20x on K9 Finance, 7x on Weave, on Block Jerk. If you put a stake into this system right here, it gives you a fantastic amount of rewards.